I just wanted to pop in and thank y'all for the hard work you do, and make sure that the new folks were familiar with me. My name is Wendy Davis. I'm a two-term Rome City Commissioner, and I am one of the Democratic candidates for Congress against Marjorie Taylor Greene. And my, she has had a heck of a week, hasn't she? Pardon me. I don't know where I just got this croup from, but I've got a meet and greet here in Calhoun. So apologies for strange lighting and sitting on my phone, sitting in the car. But I wanted to step in and say hello to y'all. And again, thank you for the hard work you're doing. Make sure everybody knew how to reach me. wendyforus.com is the website. We are seeking volunteers and support. We're about to get busy knocking doors and making phone calls. And we've got Dalton and Whitfield County are a very important part of this work we have to do. This congressional district, as y'all know, changed a little bit, still the same chunk of 10 counties that start there at the Tennessee line, come through y'all, have Murray County, but then it dips around Bartow County and has Gordon County, Chattooga County, Floyd County, Polk County, down to Paulding County, and they grab 51,000 people from Cobb County, that southwest corner of Cobb County where Austell and Powder Springs are. And I'm telling you, those folks are not excited about being added to our district because they want nothing to do with Marjorie Taylor Greene. So I'm trying to say that we welcome them because it's a strong high turnout area, it's a strong Democratic area, and working with good folks like y'all, we really can flip this seat. She opens the door wider with Republicans. I'm not sure if y'all have seen it. All the Republicans who criticized her, Herschel Walker, who is, a big Trump guy, he just backed out of her event this Saturday in Rome. So she opens the door for us. Meet her in November, but we have to have the strongest candidate. And I am confident that I'm the strongest candidate to do that, have the strongest connection to the district, a 30-year record as an activist and leader in the Democratic Party. And I think my 8 years serving on the city commission give me a set of accomplishments that not only are things y'all can be excited about as Democrats, but they don't scare our Republican neighbors. I work hard to find common ground because frankly, we have a lot more in common than we do our differences. Now, our differences are pretty sharp where they are, but I think we all want veterans to get their benefits and we all want our communities to thrive. We just have sort of sometimes different ways of seeing how to get there. So thanks for giving me a minute to say hello to everybody tonight. I'll put our link in the chat and I look forward. I think I'm going to be up in Dalton this weekend. That fabulous brewing company y'all have downtown is having a big party. So maybe I'll see y'all up there this weekend. And thank you for continuing to share calendar items because we need to get out. And I love getting out and visiting with people and taking questions. So again, most importantly, thanks for the great work y'all do. I'm very proud of your efforts and apologize that I can't be at the chili cook-off. I've got to be up in DC for a DNC meeting that weekend, but keep doing the great work you're doing. And thanks for letting me speak to you a few minutes tonight.
What you guys have going on? I'm just going to give a campaign update if you guys are willing to hear it.
Yeah, go ahead. Wendy just finished. You go right ahead.
Well, updating the campaign right now. We're still the top congressional challenger campaign in the nation. I don't know how many of you know this, but we did outraise Marjorie Taylor Greene in the last quarter. She's been stepping in it here lately, appearing at white nationalist rallies. We went on the offensive there and, we raised a lot of money as well, speaking to people about, the dangers of that kind of talk and all the praise that Putin's been getting from the far right. So we're out every day speaking at events. Our next town hall is going to be March 8th at 6 p.m. I'd love for you guys to join. My deputy campaign manager, Molly Rohr, will drop our website in the chat box, and you guys can go on our website, log into the events tab, sorry, and please join us for that. We'll be taking questions from a lot of people. We've been getting a lot of participation in those lately. We're also going to be doing a couple of veterans events here in the near future. just getting a lot of support. I just got back from knocking doors in Rockmart, and a lot of enthusiasm there, as with everywhere that we go out and knock doors. So this campaign is moving and shaking. So get ready to hear a lot from us in the next coming weeks. We're moving right along. You guys got any questions for me?
Yeah, I do. Marcus, thank you for joining.
Hey, Dan.
You're talking to all the people around the district. What is their sentiment? You're hearing about this invasion in Ukraine. I have to tell you that myself, I was so, I would say, pissed off when this first happened. I was like, if I'd had a visa, I probably would have signed up ready to go right then, but just to do something. But I mean, my concern. What's your opinion? What are you hearing around the district? That's what I want to hear.
Well, there's and I don't want to use the word mixed signals here, because that's not what I'm hearing. The signals aren't mixed. But if I really think about, let me paint a picture here and frame this a little bit. We all thought that a lot of the things that Trump did, that was the final straw. That was the bridge too far. So I'm starting to hear rumblings about this praise for Putin around the district and really around the country as well. That's kind of a bridge too far, especially once people are seeing, how this invasion is going, and that Ukrainians are fighting back, pushing back and for freedom and democracy. So I think those on the far right, to include Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think they may have crossed a line that I guess a lot of people didn't know, that with all of the other things that they've done, this would be the point where, a lot of, I would say, common sense Republicans would say, that's too much. That's not who we are. But we're getting there. I'm starting to get that feeling from conversations that I'm having, that people they're kind of fed up with a lot of the stuff that's going on the far right, and they're starting to see, this praise for Putin from Trump. It's a bridge too far. So that's a feeling that I'm getting, and we're going to continue talking about that. We're going to continue talking about the fight for freedom and the fight for democracy and what we're doing here. And people on the far right distracting everybody with issues like wearing masks and other things that aren't important and aren't getting things done for us here in the district. So we're having those conversations with people, and not just on the left, but independents and Republicans as well. So that's what I'm seeing. Is anyone else hearing the same kind of rumblings that I'm hearing?
Yes, I am. I traveled from Nashville to Knoxville all around this past couple days, and I'm hearing the same thing. And I don't know what your sentiment is on that, and that's probably a whole different conversation what I'm about to say. But I don't want to criticize the Biden administration. We have to be supportive. We obviously, he's got a State of the Union address tonight. We want to hear a lot of things. A lot of things I've heard people saying we want to hear. If he said all those things, we'd have an 8-hour speech tonight. But right, so I'm hoping that we hear some rhetoric, or not rhetoric, but I hope we hear some strong words. And I wish we wouldn't hear, and I've heard this many times, that we would not hear things telegraphing what our move will not be or will be. Listening to General McCaffrey and Honore and Sabritas, Admiral Sabritas, all these people are saying, we need to have a generalized statement that's intentional ambiguity. Mm-hmm. I mean, you are a special operative and military yourself, so you have a unique perspective of what's going on. You were in Bosnia, right?
I was in Bosnia, Kosovo, Macedonia, all over.
So, I mean, the Balkan states are the next stage here, potentially, or Latvia, Estonia, Moldova.
Politics, but yes, I know what you're talking. I knew what you meant.
Yeah, so just saying, I'm pretty fired up. I want other people, but I think it's a unifying. You're seeing a unification. Hopefully, you're seeing that.
Yes, we're starting to see some of that pushback that should have been there on the radical right. And what you're alluding to is one of the things that we always talked about as far as putting too much information out on the battlefield.
Yeah.
You know, those on the ground don't need to know, they don't need to see the 30,000 foot view of what's going on. I come from that world. And that's just, no one just to know how it all works together.
Yeah,
But we need to know
I'd
that
like to have
something's
a
been done.
conversation with you about it on another thing. I really would, like the Iron Dome, all these things that we could potentially arm people with, you know, interceptor type missiles fired within the boundaries of Ukraine. But anyway, those are the things.
I do think that you know, the European Union especially and our NATO allies have come around to the fact that we need to arm Ukrainians. Putting boots on the ground, I agree with the administration. That should not happen and will not happen unless a NATO member is attacked, and in which case Article 5 is in play. So these are, you know, this is stuff in my wheelhouse, but I don't want to jump out ahead of.
I get you.
anything
I know. I appreciate you.
No worries, Dan. Thanks for the question.
Does anybody else have anything for Marcus while he's on here? Marcus, I do want to tell you, I made sure that Wendy knew. I was contacted by Shannon Bearfield today, who was looking for contact information for the campaigns for an American Legion event that's happening at the end of the month. And I want to make sure, I gave her both emails that I had for you. Make sure you keep a lookout for it if you're able to attend.
I think Molly has already reached out to her as well. I think that came into the info box. It came into my inbox as well. So I think my campaign's already on top of that.
Okay. Well, and one other thing I told Wendy, if there's any more contact information that's not on your website that you would like to share among Democrats, the North Georgia Dems have created a Google sheet that we're sharing with members. So, you know, I know that personally, I had a lot of trouble getting a hold of Ossoff or Warnock. Not that I want to talk to them, but we were trying to get permission to put out signs that we had created, and I couldn't get anybody to answer me. So if you've got some way, if you think that maybe the info needs to go in one direction instead of the other, Molly, okay. I sent her Marcus at Marcus for Georgia, so I'll add Molly.
So that's fine because they can see my email as well. But Molly's pretty much the direct contact. She handles the calendar. Chase is the campaign manager. He handles a lot of other things, but Molly handles our calendar. Debbie, I trust your judgment as far as putting my email address out wherever. That's fine. You use your judgment to.
Well, it's something that I would have hoped. I think you and I've talked about this before, that the state would provide for, at least for county chairs, that if you needed to get a hold of somebody who would actually read an email, that I could get that information. But they still, to my knowledge, they still haven't done it. So we're trying to do that here in the 14th and the 9th Congressional District. I don't know if you're aware or not, but the 9th, some of the counties in the 9th Congressional District have asked to join the North Georgia Democrats group. So our group is growing. But I'll add this email as well. And if there's anything else you want to put in there, let me know.
Okay, Molly will definitely reach out and let you know. I think she has your email address as well, so
okay,
you can get that information to you.
You can share my email anywhere and everywhere. You can put it on a billboard. I feel free to share it. I promise I'll read any emails that come in and get you linked up with what you need.
Oh, I'll be careful, but I'm not all for doing that. We had a bad experience last month on a call that got bombed, so we'll be careful. All right. If that's it for Marcus, I'll go back to where we were. And Marcus, feel free to hang in here or leave or whatever you want to do. Whatever.